What is up, guys? It is Jacob from QuadHunting, and today's video is not a happy one. This is a bad news video for the Lions. As I'm sure most of you have heard, Taylor Decker, our team starting left tackle and first-round draft pick from last year, has been injured and is out for the foreseeable future, as Jim Caldwell said, out indefinitely. He does not believe the injury will last throughout the whole season and that we will see Decker back playing left tackle for the Lions this year, which is probably the best case out of this whole thing. He injured it in OTAs last week. I'm recording this on Wednesday, June 7th. I was on Monday on the 5th where he went in for surgery to get his shoulder fixed, and then it has not been announced how severe it was, anything like that. So we don't know the specifics and how long he could be out. But assuming the worst is he's going to be out till probably the bye week of the season. He's going to miss all of preseason, training camps, OTAs, that kind of thing. Best case, he will. I assume he's going to probably miss the first 6 weeks, and then might come back for the Pittsburgh game, is my prediction right now. But I'm just making an educated guess based on what other reporters who are closer to the situation are making educated guesses on. That's like the worst time for him to get hurt, is to miss that first part of the season. That's the teams that have the best pass rushing ability out of our whole schedule. And Taylor Decker last year, coming in as what everyone thought was going to be our starting right tackle because no one thought he could play left tackle. He ended up winning the left tackle job over Riley Reef. Wasn't even really a competition there. And then ended up playing as the second best rookie tackle of the whole draft last year. So that's, this hurts when your starting left tackle gets hurt. It is probably the second worst injury that could happen to the Lions right now, second only to Matthew Stafford getting hurt. But there's some options. I'm not going to say this is the end-all, like season's over because Taylor Decker gets hurt, but this is not something that's going to be easily overcome. Losing your left tackle and trying to replace him, is the talent depth between first and your backup tackle, the left tackle, is significant enough. So we're going to look at some options the Lions have and see what the Lions can do to try to soften the blow of losing Taylor Decker for the first part of the season. I have them all on a Word doc here. So what can the Lions do? There's two different ways you can look at the solutions they have. They can either try to make what they have right now work, which is the Cornelius Lucas, Corey Robinson, not Cam Robinson, and Joe Dahl. It's been reported that Joe Dahl and Cam Robinson are splitting first team tackles reps at OTAs. And it looks like right now it's a competition between those two. That's probably the two you want competing right now because, as we've seen with Cornelius Lucas the last couple of years, he is inconsistent and not someone you want to have to trust for a long period of time. He has 6 starts in the 2 seasons he's had with the Lions, and never has he looked like he's going to be anything more than the 4th tackle on your team, as he was last year for the most part. He did start in the wild card game because he was the 3rd guy at right tackle at that point. With Riley Reef out and Corey Robinson also out. So Cornelius Lucas is not the guy you want stepping in there right away. More likely it's going to be between Corey Robinson and Joe Dahl. Corey Robinson got 2 starts last year on the at right tackle when Reef was hurt. And he's probably going to be better suited to jump in at left tackle for a short time. He was last year's 3rd tackle option for the most part throughout the whole season. Was the third string tackle. He would come in if Decker or Reef needed to come out, and he would also play as the 3rd tackle and that tight end if they wanted to run the double tight end, but they'd put him in there as the 3rd tackle as a blocker. So right now he's got the leg up on Lucas because of this, being the 3rd guy on the depth chart last year. So he's got a leg up. But surprisingly to me, the most surprising thing to me is Joe Dahl coming in and getting reps at left tackle during this part of the preseason, in the offseason, I mean. Last year was drafted in the 5th round. I only saw him as a guy who can play left guard, and right tackle. I never would have in a million years thought the team was going to put him over at left tackle, but he is versatile, and that is what Bob Quinn likes out of his linemen. He is also Bob Quinn's only draft pick out of these guys, so he might have a leg up there. And he played a lot last year after Swanson got hurt, playing backup guard and coming in for Tomlinson or Warford. and looked to be all right, not a world beater, but it is his second season. He did say last year, it was fifth round rookie coming out of Washington State, that they ran like 5-6 different plays for linemen. The linemen only had to learn 5-6 different plays, and the Lions' offensive line blocking assignments was a lot more diverse, a lot more complicated than what he had dealt with in college, and so it took him some time to get comfortable in the Lions' offense. So hopefully he's at the point where he's comfortable now, and now he's might be playing a new position at left tackle, which will then deplete some guard depth we have. But we also have some options there too that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. We're talking about now. So those are the three guys that are in-house. Storm Norton also comes in there. I don't believe he has a shot at winning the left tackle spot. He's an undrafted free agent. If he wins that job, I'm more worried that it's because the other guys didn't perform versus him stepping way up out of like blowing away expectations. I believe more it would be, Joe Dahl experiment failed and he's just going to play guard, and Corey Robinson and Cornelius Lucas both did awful, and Storm was the best shot out of it. But no offense to Storm Norton. But moving on to some free agent options the Lions have. It is June. There are still some free agents out there that can step in while Decker's out. It's just how comfortable are you with these guys? That they're free agents for a reason in June. So starting off with King Dunlap, he's 31 years old. On Pride of Detroit, they said talent-wise, if it was just talent-wise, he would be the number one option. He'd be the guy who should not be available right now. But it is not just talent-wise. He's the most experienced left tackle on the market, talent-wise, like I said. But he's only played one full season healthy, and that was in 2009, or since 2009. Since 2009, he's only played one full season. That's 8 years of injuries, and that might not even be the biggest, thing knock on him right now. Back in February, he was arrested for violating a protective order that a girlfriend had signed for against him, an ex-girlfriend, I should say. His lawyer said it was a simple misunderstanding between the parties. The case got dismissed, so that doesn't sound too bad. But the Lions have had, some history with towing the line on domestic. I don't want to say violence because it wasn't a domestic violence thing. It was more of a restraining order, and he violated that, and apparently the case got dismissed. So, but they towed the line with Andrew Corliss last year, and a lot of fans were not really happy about that. So, they got a domestic dispute, I guess is the way they worded it. So, they've walked a thin line with domestic disputes, and I'm not sure if he is the option being on the wrong side of 30. You only have to play until Decker's healthy. So, if he could play till Decker was healthy and play at a decent level, that's okay. I mean, he came in rated, I was like the 53rd tackle, and just that came 5 spots below Riley Reef. So you're not going to get great play out of him, but you might be able to get enough consistent, all right play out of him. So moving on, we have Ryan Clady, another guy that's dealt with some injury issues. 31 years old. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, most recently in 2014, I think. But a lot of injury issues. He finished last season on the IR. He missed the entire 2015 season, and he missed a good portion of the 2013 season. Was considered one of the best offensive tackles before this, and then the injuries happened, and he's just, again, there's a reason why you're a free agent still in June, and his issue is injuries. Then finishing out the injured guys, the guys that dealt with injuries, you got Will Beatty from the former New York Giant, 32 years old. This is the injuries he's suffered since he's been in the NFL. Suffered a foot injury, broke his leg, detached retina, ruptured sciatic nerve in his back, or disrupted sciatic nerve in his back, and most recently in 2015, a torn pec and rotator cuff. So, I mean, he's kind of held by bubble wrap at this point. But last season, he claimed he was healthy all season, but the Giants held him out of every game. He didn't play because I'm not sure. I don't know why he didn't play. If they thought they had better options, but he claimed he was healthy all season. He doesn't know why he didn't play. So, again, it's a guy you bring in, hope he can stay healthy and long enough, and we don't have to go into a third or fourth left tackle. My personally favorite option out of everyone so far is Austin Pazder. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I know I'm not. But he is the youngest option. They didn't have his age. I should have probably looked that up, but oh well. But he is younger than Clady, Beatty, and Dunlap. He was the 4th overall selection in 2012's CFL draft, not NFL draft. He did play for the Jacksonville Jaguars before it ended up getting cut. He started 23 games for them, and then went to the Browns, played right tackle all season in 2015, and then bumped inside to right guard. So he's not really suited to play left tackle with his play style and his play style. But if they moved all over to left tackle, that opens up an opening inside, and he has experience playing guard. So you'd be able to plug him in at guard, and then you'd also be able to plug him in at right tackle should an injury happen with Ricky Wagner. So he has depth. Bob Quinn loves the versatility, like I mentioned earlier. He loves guys that can play multiple positions. So I see him as a better shot of being signed and making the team than the other guys mentioned above hand because he's versatile. So, and then we have one guy who's been reported to have he's been visiting Detroit. It was not explicitly said he was visiting the Lions, but it was visiting Detroit. And then his tweet afterwards had the picture of 2 Lions emojis, 2 Lions emojis, not a picture of them. He had 2 Lions emojis at the end of his tweet, and that is Cyrus. That last name. Okenamani? Okay, nope, not even going to try it. He was the 2nd round pick from the Buffalo Bills in 2014. He's 23 years old. He's very young still at this point. Some issues with him, though. He's had some injury issues. Did not play to the level that they wanted out of a right tackle. But it was seen more as, coming out of Alabama, he was more suited to play the left side, the left tackle, and they were trying to have him play the swing tackle, could play either right or left. And when you're trying to do too many things at once, you're not good at any of them. So it sounds like if you kind of stick him at left tackle, he might thrive better there. And it sounds like he's a guy that needs to change the scenery. He was cut by the Bills just a couple weeks ago, recently. And no one, he had an issue in April with the police. He was trespassing. It was in a t-shirt and his underwear. And when the cops came close to him, he said, you know what, just shoot me. So, hopefully he's gotten the mental help he needs since April and can, produce. And that's not hampering him in any way. We'll see. He started 7 games in the 3 years he played with Buffalo, and most of those were on the right side, or left tackle. He battled an ankle injury last season and then suffered a hip injury at home in January, which required surgery. The Bills reported he would be ready to go by training camp, but cut him a couple weeks ago. So could he be ready to go by training camp? Probably. Worst comes to worst, he's you can probably sign him cheap. Worst comes to worst, he's a camp body and you cut him after preseason. The best, he wins the starting job in the competitions, and then Taylor Decker comes up and replaces him. And then we have a solid 3rd tackle guy that we could go to instead of the aforementioned Lucas, Robinson, and Dahl. Dahl would probably be better suited at guard anyways. So if we're looking at Dahl playing left tackle, I'm wanting Pazder. If we're looking at someone Dahl not playing left tackle, I'm looking more at Cyrus. I think the change of scenery might be beneficial to him, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not the general manager as much as I wish I was. That's Bob Quinn's job to decide who is going to be the best option for the Lions, if he's going to sign anyone or he's going to let it play out with the guys he has in-house. So we will see about that. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, Decker is probably the 2nd worst guy to get injured, only behind Stafford. Left tackle is so important to the offense, and with that offensive line being retooled this season, adding TJ Lang and Ricky Wagner, it looked to be a bright spot. Now left tackle's down, and we have to deal with that. As far as Ricky Wagner playing left tackle, Jim Caldwell has already said we signed him to be a right tackle and a right tackle only. He's not going to be playing left tackle. So take that for what you will. Hopefully we'll be hearing some more things about Taylor Decker's injury. That way us fans can plan ahead as our armchair quarterbacks and armchair general managers. We can decide what the Lions should do. But Bob Quinn has a job for a reason. Jim Caldwell's the coach for a reason. We'll see how this all shapes up and how the injury affects the team. So if you like the video, leave likes, comments, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to talk too fast. Leave comments down below. Who do you think the Lions should sign? Is there anyone else out there that could be a decent stopgap until Taylor Decker comes back? What are your thoughts on the Taylor Decker injury? All that good stuff. And I will see you guys all next time.